With Andrea Nicolas at Glenelg. Andrea, it's a frightening situation.
It is, Jane. The rising waters here at the Padawalunga have definitely sent locals into panic mode. The path I'm standing on is completely submerged and water's lapping up near the benches in what's usually the sitting area. The council's recruited the help of emergency services volunteers who've been frantically filling sandbags and delivering them to properties and dropping them near drains most at risk. The water's been rising by around 15 centimetres an hour. The lake level's currently around 1.4 metres, but if it reaches 1.6, it could spell disaster. In 2003, water inundated homes.
A foot into the house, but we're hoping it won't.
Thought I'd come home from work and so hopefully support the guys, but they tell me they've got it all under hand, so let's fingers crossed.
Now, high tide has already passed here, so it's hoped this is as bad as it gets. But if the severe weather forecast brings more heavy rain, it could be a race against the clock. John?
Andrea Nicolas is with the Red Army, and Andrea, they're on their way to the stadium.
They are, Jane. You can probably hear them from inside the studio. This march is a tradition for the Red Army, all designed to intimidate their rival fans, and they're doing a great job. Around 100 supporters have just left a nearby hotel. They're making the walk to the stadium where they'll set up camp behind the goals. The cheer squad has spent the afternoon practicing their signature chants. The boys have given them plenty to celebrate this season after finishing on top of the ladder.
It'll be a tough challenge, but I think we've got it. I'm confident.
We're nervous. There's a lot on the line.
It's been such a long time coming, and we're all just dying for the win tonight.
It'll be a sea of red for tonight's sellout clash, with some high-profile support from movie star and former Adelaide boy Anthony Lapalia in the FFA's corporate box. Goalkeeper Eugene Galekovic will be spurred on by a new young fan too after becoming a dad to baby boy Jaden on Wednesday. Tonight's do-or-die clash will determine if the Reds host a home grand final. John?
Adam Carpenter is still pinching himself.
It's just been quite mind-blowing, the growth.
He co-founded Prohibition Gin less than a year ago.
In that time, we've bottled close to 4,000 bottles. We've just shipped off our first export order to New Zealand. We're national in about 400 venues.
It was recently named Best Australian Gin at the New York International Spirits Competition.
We've got a great food and wine culture here, so that can flow into the botanicals that we put in the gins, and I think, yeah, people are embracing craft spirits as the next big thing.
His liquors produced at Applewood Distillery in Gumaraka, now one of 14 companies making gin across the state. The boys from Red Hen Gin are the new kids on the block, based in the CBD. The Vallelonga brothers teamed up with mate Luke Page to launch the brand a few months ago.
There's strict roles, yeah. We've got the distiller here and we sort of work on the recipe. Yeah, we don't let Daniel touch the botanics.
How do you feel about that, Daniel?
Oh, well, I just chuck anything in, so but nah, it's good fun.
They're currently on their 4th batch and have been overwhelmed by the demand.
Very surprised from my point of view. It was more just an excuse to catch up with my brothers initially, and you know, just family and friends, and everyone sort of asks about it. Everyone wants to know, how's it going? Are you ready yet? Can we get a bottle? So it's been good.
We've got a few bars in Melbourne that have taken us on, and they've had a great response, haven't they? Yeah. They've had reorders.
Getting the right blend has taken a couple of years, but one local ingredient helps make it unique.
One of the botanicals is Muntry berries, which is a South Australian berry, which is from the York Peninsula. Yeah. So that's something local to South Australia.
Kangaroo Island Spirits was the first dedicated gin distillery in Australia. It's proud to have paved the way for newcomers with its world-renowned Kiss Wild Gin and Old Tom Gin.
When we started 10 years ago, there were a few whiskey guys and other distilleries tinkering with gin, but no one dedicated to it. So to see lots of gin people coming in behind Sarah and myself from Kangaroo Island Distillery is a fantastic thing for all of us and for an industry in South Australia.
But selling the liquor in Australia is far from cheap.
There's over $24 excise plus the GST, so there's well over $30 worth of tax on one bottle.
Fortunately, boutique bars are embracing local craft spirits.
Purely customer demand. Everyone wants it. Everyone wants everything that's sourced locally, and they want to support local.
Rather than seeing each other as competition, brands here are working together to create a gin industry. They want us to be known as South Australia, the gin state.
think as one we probably can do a better job and try and convince the consumer to try a crafted spirit rather than your typical international brand.
We will be the gin state before we know it.
Andrea, Nicolas, 7 News.